All right, guys, our slept on game of the week presented by Best Sleep Today. Some really life-changing stuff happening over at Best Sleep Today. If you can't sleep with a CPAP, you're not wanting to do oral surgery, but you just stop breathing at night. Dr. Mason, the folks over at Best Sleep Today are getting that fixed with a simple oral appliance. BestSleepToday.com to learn more. Washington State, Wazoo, at number 21, James Madison. The Dukes are 13.5-point favorites. And they're lined up, guys, to have a great shot to claim this G5 spot, this fifth conference championship spot, however you want to phrase it. The Dukes have played very, very good football this year. Outside of that loss to Louisville, which is their only blemish so far, they've looked the part, and they've really looked the part in second halves. They have crushed the will to survive for most of their opponents in that second half. And now they're welcoming a Washington State team that's desperate just to get to a bowl game. In 2025, they come in at 5-5. They've got Oregon State on deck next week in their season finale. But of course, they lost the first leg of that but the home and home series against Oregon State in the Pac-2. So, Trey, you've kind of been orchestrating a lot of the G5 math. You've been paying attention to James Madison. We've had a lot of conversations about that. Is this a statement for James Madison, or is this a landmine that continues to open up that G5 race?
That's a fantastic question, because you think back over the last couple of years, James Madison has looked really good, and then the spotlight kind of gets shined on him a little bit, and they fall back a little bit. I'm thinking of the game day game when App State came to town a couple years ago. They've had some shots against power conference opponents and been close, but not really gotten the job done. And on the other side of that, the interesting side narrative is this is a direct comparison game for the committee against a team that they could be up against, North Texas, the co-favorite right now to get that G5 bid. Also played Washington State earlier this year, also at home. They beat the Cougars 59-10 in Denton, guys, back in September. That was kind of the arrival, the statement. Yeah, it was a thumping up I-35 there, and it was kind of the statement that UNT had arrived this year, right? But listen, if you haven't watched a ton of JMU this year, I don't blame you. They kind of been buried on ESPN Plus a lot. They've won 8 straight by an average of 23.5. They've won by 32 points per game in their last 4. They are destroying everybody in their path in the Sun Belt East. They've already clinched the Sun Belt East title this year. And this big resurgence has kind of been on the back of Alonza Barnett getting more of the full-time reps at quarterback. They were kind of splitting with Matthew Saluka at first. If you remember the Louisville game, that was kind of some of the controversy, right? They didn't really know how to handle their quarterback situation. Well, Barnett stepped up and become one of the best dual threat guys in the country. He's got almost 2,500 total yards, 28 total touchdowns already this year. He's got a great all-purpose back in Wayne Knight, who has over 1,200 yards from scrimmage already this year. Their defense is number 1 in the country in success rate. And Wazoo, guys, I know they're fighting for a bowl game. They've had some good, hard-fought wins this year. It's a big start over after Jake Dickert left them and went to the opposite coast. But they're just not really particularly good at anything, especially on the offensive side of the ball. They haven't eclipsed 30 points except for one time this year, back in like week 2. So I think this is a situation, you put it all together, James Madison needs to make a statement. I think they will. I think they're going to cover the spread. I think they're going to try to win by as many points as possible, a true leave the starters in as long as you can situation, and try to win this one going away, because they're going to need to, as they're compared to that champion of the American, if they get that far.
Yeah, I was going to try to come in here and make some kind of a case about why this one would get close and, why maybe Washington State's going to get in here and make it a game. But then I just decided to make my second John Belushi movie quote reference of the night and say, forget it, they're rolling. It's just a lot of fun. I like to watch this team. I like them playing big. I think they win big. This is another big case of like big motivation and a good team, and then just low vibes on the other side. I think they're going to win big. I got them covering. The big thing will be kind of comparing it to the game that UNT played, since those could be, big time, kind of comparison points for the committee. Can they beat them 59-10? They probably can. Just will they? What are they going to end up doing? How much are they going to press hard on the gas pedal? I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Can you imagine a 12-1 North Texas conference champion, a 12-1 James Madison conference champion, and in the committee room at the Gaylord, they're going, well, I guess this comes down to how badly they beat Washington State. I mean, boy, what a way for Old Crimson to be featured on a selection show.
For the people that say every game doesn't matter anymore, like between that and the tiebreakers for conference championship games, every game does matter to somebody at some point.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with JMU as well. I just think they're a much more complete team. That, and the adjustments that they make in the second half are impressive. They're just not giving up that many points when you come out of the break. So I think it's kind of Washington State in the first half, or maybe nothing at all. So I'll take JMU by 2 touchdowns.